At this time, we would ask you to please rise as we honor our country playing of our national anthem. And now the starting lineup for the visiting Millers. At guard, freshman number 14, Charlie Lewis. At guard, freshman number 3, Noah Lewis. At guard, sophomore number 11, Izzy Rochner. At guard, junior number 12, Cindy Cavell. And at guard, senior number 25, Marley Tuckman. Head coach Eric Schroeder goes with a record of 7-1. Your starting lineup for your Governor Livingston Highlanders. At guard, sophomore number 24, Mackenzie Reynolds. At guard, sophomore number 15, Grace John. At guard, sophomore number 12, Mia number 34, Haley Mayer. And at guard, the junior, the captain of the Highlanders, number 23, Harley White. And Coach Chris Becker after coming with a record of 2-5.
Welcome to Governor Livingston High School here on the Hill. My name is Nathan Philbrick. Thank you for joining us here today on Governor Livingston High School television on YouTube and/or Facebook. We are just about ready to get started with this girls varsity basketball matchup between your Governor Livingston Highlanders and the Millburn Millers. Should be an exciting one. Governor Livingston got off to a hot start, 2 wins in a row to start the season, but since then have dropped 5 straight. Most recently, this past Thursday, they took a loss, 53-27 against ALJ, pretty big powerhouse in the Union County Conference. And now they will face up against the 7-1 Millburn Millers. Millburn on a 5-win streak. Just this past Thursday, they beat Livingston High School 41-22. So this one should be a good matchup. The Highlanders' record doesn't quite show how well they can play. They've only lost 2 of their games. 2 out of the 5 games they've lost, they lost by double digits. All the rest, they lost by a margin of 4 points or less. And here's the tip, controlled by Grace Don for the Highlanders. She'll bring it up the court. She'll pass it off. Thayer trying to make something work. She'll get it to Pfeiffer at the point. Pfeiffer will drive down low. She'll get it to a spot I can't see. Back to Don. Don will go to the point. She'll drop this off to Deladonna. Deladonna will get it to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer driving. Holds up. Goes back to Deladonna. Back to Pfeiffer. Screen set by Deladonna. Pfeiffer holding up at the 3. One of the captains of this team. She'll dish to the corner. Reynolds gets it back at the top. Pfeiffer will drive and she'll have the ball knocked out of her hands, but she'll touch it last, so it'll be the Millers' ball. This one will be carried up the court here by number 12, Sydney Tavel. She'll dish to number 11, Rosner, and she'll go up for a 2, controlled by Carly Pfeiffer, who lost control of it for a second there, has to battle for it, and it'll eventually be controlled by the Millers, and a foul on the ground from Pfeiffer, I believe. Or no, sorry, that was a travel on the ground from the Millers, so Neil Deladonna will come to inbound this, and she'll get it to Don. Don being guarded by Rosner. She'll bring it across half court, taking it slow. She'll dish, that's to Reynolds. Reynolds driving under the basket, goes back to Don. Don looking for something, spin move, shoots. No good off glass. Mia Deladonna off glass as well. Millers have the ball. Tavel with it. She'll dish to Rosner. They'll get it to Berger. Now underneath, it'll try and go back to Rosner, but tipped, and it'll end up in Deladonna's hands. She'll give it to Pfeiffer. Now Grace Don with the ball. Don, a dual sport athlete like many of these other girls on the court. Carly Pfeiffer, notably a standout softball player, plays varsity for the Highlanders. She'll take a floater here, and that one high off glass. No scoring yet, 5:52 left in the first quarter. Kaylee Kahn with the ball. Now it's number 3. Berger. Rosner. Sorry, not Rosner. Pavel, she went up for a 2 and missed as well. Grace Don. Now to Reynolds. Reynolds from 3. That one airballed from short. Carly Pfeiffer. Sorry, not Carly Pfeiffer. That'll be number Kaylee Thayer under the basket, getting the rebound and pulling one up for 2. And now a chance at the and 1. So Kaylee Thayer, chance for the 3-point play, that one off iron, but it'll be controlled by Reynolds. Reynolds will get it to Deladonna, who will take a long 3. That's good! Highlanders open the scoring, 5-point lead. Just past 5 minutes gone, 4:50 left. Tavel, she'll get this one out to number 25, who I don't believe I have on my roster. Oh, sorry, it's Tuckman, Marley Tuckman. Missed that one from 3. Now Carly Pfeiffer has this one knocked away from her. And she'll be pressed by Tuckman, and that ball will go out of bounds. Highlanders keep the ball. Pfeiffer goes inside to Don. Don calling out the play. Carrying this one up the court, got it by Rosner. Coach Eckert yelling from the sideline. Don now into Reynolds. Reynolds will dish to Thayer. Thayer will go to Don. Don looking to make something work. Goes to Deladonna. Deladonna, dual sport, also plays soccer. She'll get it to Don, and Don underneath the basket goes up for 2. And a timeout from the Millers. Coach Eric Schroeder, his team's feeling the pressure. And now he calls a timeout, excuse me. So the Highlanders, with 4:08 left in the third period, have opened to a 7-0 lead as the cheerleaders throwing some shirts out here. It is Super Saturday here on the Hill, the accumulation of all the events of this Highlander week, this past week. Yesterday, Fantastic Friday, 3 different varsity sporting events, technically 4 if you want to count girls and boys fencing separately, but 3 different varsity events. The first of the evening to kick off being boys and girls fencing. Boys fencing finished with a 22-5 win over West Essex. Girls fencing 19-8 over West Essex. Boys moved to 4-1, girls moved to 3-2. Then wrestling got kicked off just a short 30 minutes later, and the Highlanders took a 42-36 win over Westfield, excuse me. That was the first win they've taken all season in a head-to-head meet. And then to cap off the night, an 8:30 kickoff at Union Sports Arena. Governor Livingston boys ice hockey, notably one of the strongest programs along with baseball at Governor Livingston, took an 8-0 win over a winless Cranford to move to 5-7. Of course, just prior to this game, Governor Livingston girls junior varsity played an exciting matchup against the Millers JV. Went to double overtime. Unfortunately, the girls dropped the game 32-26 after 6 points scored in the double overtime. The Highlanders couldn't respond, and now have traveled from the Millers, and they are feeling the pressure. Coach Schroeder was trying to alleviate it with his time, a little bit of it, with his timeout, but it didn't quite work out the way he wanted potentially. Now Don carries it up the court. She's guarded by Rosner. And now it's Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer to Deladonna. Deladonna to Don, excuse me. Don. Still guarded by Rosner. Now Deladonna at the point. She'll get it to Reynolds. Reynolds will go to Don. In the corner, Don looking to make a move, spins. Goes up for a 2, that one off the side of the backboard. Bit of an awkward one there, and now Noya Lewis will put up the first points for the Millers on a breakaway. Cut the lead down to 5, it's 7-2. 3:12 left. Don will carry it up, Rosner will back off a bit. Now to Reynolds. Reynolds will throw this one over the top of Thayer. Thayer into the basket will go for 2, and no shot. That's a travel from Reynolds. So 2:59 left. The Highlanders with a 5-point lead. Score is 7-2. Sydney Tavel will carry it up. Now she'll get it to Rosner. Rosner will try and make something work. She'll go back to Tavel. And now from the corner 3, Lewis. That one off iron, contested, and jump ball, well done on the defensive end by Mia Deladonna to get her hand in there on the ball. But it'll go the way of the Millers still. Coach Eckert yelling out instructions to his team from the sideline. Of course, the Highlanders in their too high zone. Deladonna will get a reach-in foul there, and that one will go to the baseline for the first foul of the day for the Highlanders.
Foul number 12,
Berger will inbound this one. A travel after she gets the ball back, so the Highlanders will take this one back and avoid any danger. 2:36 left in the first quarter. Deladonna to inbound. That one goes off Lewis and will go out of bounds. Smart move there by Deladonna to avoid the 5-second call on the inbound. It's time counting down again. She'll fake and she'll go to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer in a bit of a slump recently as she goes behind the back there. Goes behind the back again, trying to make a move, gets into the paint, and she'll be fouled on the floor, and the Highlanders will get an inbound along the baseline. Reynolds to inbound. Sorry. She got it to Pfeiffer, got it to Thayer underneath the basket, and she'll go off for 2. Increase the lead back to 7 for the Highlanders. It's 9-2. 2:10 left. Tavel will carry this one up. She'll go to Rosner. That one deflected by Don on the pass attempt to Lewis, but it'll stay with the Millers. Berger on the inbound. It'll end up with Tavel. Back to Tavel now. She'll go to Berger. She'll go to Lewis. Lewis will drive underneath the basket. She'll have that one knocked away from her. Quickly get it to her teammate in number 25, Tuckman. Long 3 there from Tavel, but that one will go off the iron, and Carly Pfeiffer will get the rebound. Grace Don making something work. She'll go up for a 2 there, and that one will be a foul, and she'll go to the line. 3rd foul of the day for the Millers. Sydney Tavel. So Don will go to the line. Shooting 9 from 16 from the line. She'll increase to 10 from 17 as she sinks that one, and now she'll come up for her second. The Highlanders in the double digits now with 10 points. And Carly Pfeiffer will check off for number 3, Olivia Katsoupas. And Don in and out on her second. That ball's on the ground. The Highlanders have a chance to get it, and a jump ball. Highlanders. Reynolds will inbound it to Don. Don will go to Deladonna. Deladonna shoots a long 3 high in the air, and that one will go off glass. And Lewis will get the rebound for the Millers. Now Tuckman will bring it up the floor. She'll dish to the corner. It'll get back with Lewis. Lewis looking to make a move against Don. Don reaching in and slapping that ball away for a second. Now it's back to Tuckman, guarded by Victoria Cruz. Now with Rosner. Back to Rosner again, guarded by Deladonna. Underneath to Tuckman. Tuckman air ball. And that one will go for the Highlanders. 48 seconds left on the clock in the first quarter. The Highlanders with an 8-point lead, 10-2. The Millers still going with a high press. Don will get the inbound, and Eckert will call out Iverson. His players getting ready to execute. Reynolds will get it. She'll make a move, screen set by Deladonna. She'll go to Katsoupas. Katsoupas will send it to Don along the left side. Don looking to make some work. Under the basket to Victoria Cruz, and she'll sink one to get the Highlanders a double-digit lead. It is 12-2. Now Berger will dish this to Tuckman. Number 10, Anna Wilson, cutting under the baseline. She'll get the ball now. She'll drive and go for a hook shot, and Olivia Katsoupas setting her feet there, but the foul came from behind. Correction, the foul apparently came from Olivia Katsoupas. Looked like she set her feet, but evidently not enough for the referee, so the Millers will go to the line. And Anna Wilson. She'll miss her first. The Millers do not record free throw attempts. Oh, sorry, that is Ariana Wilson, not Anna Wilson. My apologies. The Millers do not record free throw attempts, but she's sunk 5 total free throws this year, and she'll miss 2 here. And the Highlanders will hold with Lily Sandholm. So, at the end of the first quarter, it is 12-2. The Highlanders with a 10-point lead. Pretty good game so far, as the cheerleaders will come out to do their stunt. Of course, the Highlanders putting up a pretty putting up a pretty dominant performance on both the defensive and offensive ends, only allowing 2 points from the Millers, a team that up until this point in just 8 games has scored 232 points. The Highlanders in 7 games have scored 157. So, I know total points doesn't mean a lot, but that's roughly an average of 25 for the Highlanders and closer to 40 for the Millers. So, a good job on the defensive end for the Highlanders and the offensive end, and they'll look to see if they can keep up this dominant performance. I'll take a quick break, and we will be back in a short minute or two for the second quarter of this game. Governor Livingston Highlanders up by 10 on the Millburn Millers. Now with the second quarter, the Millburn Millers have the ball, and they'll look to get just their second score of the day. And that ball will be knocked out of bounds, by the Highlanders. So, inbound will come here from Charlie Berger. Now in the corner to Wilson. Now with Tavel. Now back to the corner for Rosner. Rosner will go up with 1. She'll miss and get her own rebound. Now with Tavel again. She'll go for a 3 and she'll hit. So the Millers bringing it back down to a single-digit lead and getting their second score of the day. It is 5-12. Highlanders 7-point lead. Reynolds with the ball. She'll dish it along baseline to Cruz. Cruz will kick out to number 32, Lily Sandholm will take a long 3. That one in and out. And a foul. A foul against number 2, Bit of confusion there. Olivia Katsoupas thought the foul was on her. She went up to get the rebound, but no. That one goes against the Millers, so their first foul of the second quarter. Reynolds will inbound it. And now it's Pfeiffer with the ball. And that's a time violation. Pfeiffer held the ball for too long. That's an interesting rule here in New Jersey high school basketball. No shot clock, but you cannot hold the ball in one position if you're not dribbling. So that is their shot clock equivalent. As Lewis here will take a long midi, and that one will sink. Millers will cut the lead down to 5. Grace Don will have to inbound now. Into Carly Pfeiffer. The Millers still going with a high press. Now Don will carry it across half court. Taking her time. Screen set by Cruz. She'll dish it out to Sandholm. Sandholm gets back to Cruz. Cruz to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer spinning, looking to drive, and she'll go up for the foul, for a shot, and she'll be fouled. A blocking foul there against the Millers, so she'll get to the line. Carly Pfeiffer. I will say nothing as she takes these free throw attempts. First miss for Pfeiffer. Her second. And her second miss. The reason I said I'm not going to say anything on these attempts is because Carly Pfeiffer is not doing too well from the free throw line this year. She's been there 32 times and only sunk 7. Now it's 34 and only sunk 7. Seems to have a bit of the yips on the line. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. She seems to have the yips all around, actually. She's only scored 39 points. Mackenzie Reynolds, surprisingly, is the leading scorer for this Highlander team. It was expected that one of the sophomores would be the second best scorer, but the first best scorer was uncalled for. Pfeiffer is the second highest scorer on the team, but she's not the leading three-point scorer, or she's not too high in the three-point scoring like she was last year. She only has 2. She's actually third right now. She'll drive and get another foul, but that one, correction, it will not be on the floor. That one, no, it will be on the floor, excuse me. So 5:50 left in the second. To the score, 5-point lead for the Highlanders. They're on a 5-0 run here in the second quarter. Pfeiffer will get the inbound. Pfeiffer will dish it to Don. Don will go underneath the basket, go off glass, and in for 2. The Highlanders' first points of this second quarter, and they'll reestablish a 7-point lead. So now Tavel will get it to Rosner, sorry. Back to Tavel. She'll go for a long three. Just a 3 from the outside, and that one will be good. So the Millers in the double digits. They'll cut the lead down. Carly Pfeiffer goes back to Grace Don. They got to go quickly to get across half court. And from Coach Boyd, the time penalty. So the Highlanders not quite able to keep up with their first quarter performance here in the second quarter. Seem to be a bit lacking on the offensive end. They've let up 8 points from the Millers in just about 3 minutes, so Eckert likely a two intentions. First of all, avoid that time violation, and secondly, try and get his team back on course and playing like they were in the first quarter. By this point in the first quarter, 6. Right now, they've only scored 2. So, getting back into a slump. This kind of is the story of not just GL girls basketball, but also GL boys basketball. They seem to be able to take leads early, whether it be in the first quarter and the second quarter, and now a turnover. Rosner will go up for a 2, and that one will be high, but a foul by Grace Don, and she'll go to the line. Either way, it seems like a problem for both these teams. Just can't hold on to the lead. Of course, both the girls and the boys going against good opponents here on Super Saturday, so they'll need to play their best. And Rosner will miss the first. Of course, as I've said, no free throw attempts recorded by the Millers, but she has only made 8 on the season. Now she's missed another. We'll see if she can hit her second. And that one will be no good. Rebound taken by Reynolds, excuse me. Or, sorry, Thayer. Seemed to have gotten hit in the eye a bit there, and O'Donnell will come to inbound the ball. The Millers with 4 fouls. 1 more foul, and they'll be sending the Highlanders to the line every time. So, with 5 minutes left, already in foul trouble. No foul trouble problems in the first quarter, but now in the second, the Millers are facing it. Don will get it to Pfeiffer at the point. Pfeiffer will go to Thayer, who will shoot long range. Sorry. Apologies, not Thayer. That was Reynolds. And now a foul by Don. So the third foul for the Highlanders, and just as I said it, now they seem they might be getting into some foul trouble. The Highlanders opting to stay in their own defensive half. Tuckman getting it in. Now going to Lewis. Lewis back to Tuckman. Tuckman will drop it off to Lewis. Looked for a three. Now driving up and under, and that one no good. And Don will carry it up the court. Calling out a play and directing. She'll go to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer will go underneath. She'll go up for two, and that one rolls in. Carly Pfeiffer increases the Highlanders' lead to 6. Their biggest lead of the game was 4 points. Now it'll be Berger in the corner. Had that one knocked away by Pfeiffer. Closely guarded. Now Tuckman and now Rosner. Rosner back to Berger. Berger at the point. She'll dish this one out to Tavel. Tavel will go up and try and go for a shot, but fouled by the Highlanders, and she'll go to the line. Tavel making the second most free throws on this team. She has 14 free throws made, behind only Nola Lewis with 37, and Tavel misses the first. Now, Grace Don will sub off the court for number 14, Gardner. And another miss there by Tavel, and Mia Dalladonna will fall on top of the ball. A jump ball, and it'll go the way of the Highlanders. So, a smart play there to jump on it, and not try and immediately throw the ball away. Just cover it up and force a jump ball. Dalladonna not trying to inbound it. She has to go quickly, and another 5-second violation for the Highlanders. The Millers' high press evidently working a bit here in the second quarter, and now Berger will inbound it. She'll go underneath to Lewis. Lewis will go out for two, and that one will miss, and she'll go to the free throw line as she does so often. Highlanders in a bit of foul trouble. They've reached 5 fouls first, and Lewis off iron for her first free throw. The Millers haven't sunk a free throw, I don't believe, here in this entire game. Lewis, of course, I'm not sure if she's the best percentage shooter, but she at least sinks the most free throws out of the team, so you'd assume she is the best percentage shooter, and she'll sink the first one, or the second one, excuse me. So I believe that is the first free throw made for the Highlanders. Reynolds now inbounds to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer trying to go behind her back. Lost the ball momentarily. She's got to dish the ball away. Eckert calls a timeout, as the Highlanders seem to be in a bit of disarray. They've dropped a 10-point lead, and correction, it was not a timeout. There was a foul before Eckert called the timeout. That was against Nola Lewis. So Mia Dalladonna will get to the line. She's shooting 5 for 11, so just about 50%. Doesn't shoot the most free throws, as that one goes in and out. The title of shooting the most free throws would, of course, go to Carly Pfeiffer. She's also got the most points under the board with 13 two-pointers made. Mackenzie Reynolds, actually, with 22 threes made. She leads the team in points with 80. And Dalladonna will miss the second as well. So now 5 for 13. Tavel trying to bring it up the court. Berger will go for a three. That one off the board. And it'll be controlled by number 14, Gardner. Carried up the court by Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer trying to get underneath the basket. She will, and she's fouled. So Pfeiffer will go to the line. 3:13 left here in the second quarter. And I will go silent once again. And she'll sink her first. Miller subbed out Izzy Rosner in between those two free throws, and Pfeiffer missed the second. So, number 4, Ayana Vinayak is on the court, and she'll turn the ball over to Mackenzie Reynolds. Reynolds will drive down the court. She'll get it to Katsoupas in the corner. Katsoupas will fake a 3. She'll go to Deladonna underneath the basket. She'll go to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer long 3. That one off iron. Pfeiffer just not quite what she was last year from the 3-point line. So, Tuckman to Wilson. Now from the point, a long 3 in and out for Rosner. And that one will be controlled by Wilson. Back to Rosner. She'll shoot a 3. Apologies, not Rosner. That is number 14, Berger, and a foul on the floor from the Millers. So the Highlanders will get to the line. They should get to the line. Millers, I suppose, knocked it out of bounds. And now some movement trying to happen. Carly Pfeiffer will get the inbound. Don off the court. Deladonna gets it in the corner. She'll go back to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer will go underneath. Now to number 34, Kaylee Thayer. Will get 2 points for the Highlanders, back to an 8-point lead. The score is 19 and 20. 2 minutes left in the second. Bit of a bobble there by Wilson. Now Tavel here in the corner. She'll drive underneath the basket. She'll dish this one out to Tuckman. Tuckman to Vinayak. Vinayak will go back to Tavel. Tavel will go to Tuckman. Tuckman faking the 3. She'll go to Wilson. Wilson will try and drive the baseline. Blocked off. Back to Tuckman. Highlanders, good defense. Now Tavel at the point. Loses it for a second. It'll be to Vinayak. Vinayak will take a 3, and that one will go off the board, and Pfeiffer will get the rebound. She'll go to Deladonna on a breakaway, and Deladonna off the glass. And controlled by Thayer. That one will be a foul against the foul against the Highlanders. Exactly. Kaylee Thayer will get to the line now, and the Highlanders will have the chance to get another double-digit lead. An 8-point lead. Thayer for her first. Nerve-wracking roll, but that one goes in. Highlanders 20 points on the board, 11 Millburn. 9-point lead, chance to get it to 10. Kaylee Thayer does shoot a decent amount of free throws, second most on the team, and she's shooting a pretty good percentage. She's 20 for 23 right now, or she was 20 for 23 coming into the game. That's the second most attempts and the most makes. And that one bobbled by Tuckman, and the pass attempt will be hit out of bounds by Deladonna. Steal attempt there on the pass by Olivia Katsoupas. Free man under the net, but nobody noticed. And Tuckman will sink a 3. So a 7-point lead only now for the Highlanders. They got it back to their max at 10. Now Carly Pfeiffer with 45 seconds left. She'll go quickly, she'll dish to the corner, a 3, that's good! Olivia Katsoupas, and she'll get the steal and a foul. She'll go to the line for the chance to give the Highlanders the biggest lead of the game. Unmarked in the corner and lurking on the steal. Olivia Katsoupas stepping up to the line. Only one free throw attempted this season. Now she'll get her second. And that one off glass and good. An 11-point lead for the Highlanders, their biggest of the game. It's 25-14 with 35 seconds left here in the second quarter. And the second roll. So 12-point lead. It is 26-14. The Millers opened with a good scoring run and played well on defense, but now they seem to be rattled once more. Double covered is number 12, Tavel, and the Millers will call a timeout to avoid getting a violation on the time for holding the ball too long. Tavel was trying to throw it off the leg of Grace Don, but we're just a bit too slow. Our coach called a timeout before she could throw it. Eric Schroeder evidently, maybe, or not evidently, but maybe a bit displeased with the way his team is playing. The Highlanders, though, are on a roll after not scoring a point in the first 3 minutes of the quarter. They've now put up 14 in just about 5 minutes. Evidently that second timeout by Coach Eckert was effective and is getting his team back in the game, and now the Highlanders will come back out onto the court. Just a reminder who's on the court for the Highlanders. It is Gardner, Reynolds, Katsoupas, Pfeiffer, and Deladonna guarding. And now a reach-in foul from Reynolds. Excuse me. 24 and 34. Always trip me up. Either way. Annie Wilson. Arietta Wilson, excuse me. She'll sink her first. Cut the lead down to 11. And now here comes her second. I believe this is the first chance, or that was the first points for the Millers in just about 2.5 minutes. And her second is no good. Rebound controlled by Deladonna, and now out to Don. 15 seconds left. The Highlanders could kill the time, or they could go quickly for a point. Screen set by Reynolds. Now a long three there from Don. Under the basket for Reynolds, and that one will roll. Sorry, that's not Reynolds, that was Thayer. And as the time expires, the Highlanders take a 28-15 lead, their largest lead of the game. So, it is halftime here on the Hill. I'm Nathan Philbrick. Your Governor Livingston Highlanders girls varsity basketball has a 13-point lead over the Millburn Millers. The score is 28-15. I'm Nathan Philbrick. Thank you for joining us here on Governor Livingston High School television, on Facebook and or YouTube. We'll take a 10-minute break and then we'll be back. And welcome back to Governor Livingston High School here on the Hill. My name is Nathan Philbrick. Thank you for joining us for this matchup between your Governor Livingston Highlanders girls varsity basketball and the Millburn Millers. The current score, as we are just ready to head into the third quarter, is 28-15. The Highlanders with a 13-point lead. They went on a good run in the last 4 minutes of the second quarter to take a 13-point lead. It is their largest lead of the game. They had a 10-point lead at some time in the first, but now it's up to 13. The Highlanders will start with the ball. Grace Don will carry it up. She'll dish to Reynolds. Reynolds now will go underneath. Sorry, that was Thayer. To Reynolds, now back to Thayer, losing the ball and out of bounds. That was number 14, excuse me, as I get that was number 14, Charlie Berger. And underneath to Reynolds. Reynolds will go up and she'll put that one in. Sorry, that's there. 24-20, 34. I cannot get it right. Either way, it's Lewis with the ball for the Millers. Now she'll get it to Tuckman. Tuckman to Rosner. Rosner to Berger. Berger ended up with Tuckman again. Tuckman fake the dump off to Lewis. Now in the corner with Rosner. Now Lewis. She'll go to number 12, Sydney Tavel, and that one off the rim. The Highlanders will get the rebound and carry it up the court. Grace Don. She'll dish this one to Mia Deladonna. Deladonna looking for someone. She'll go to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer will get it to Don. Don had Deladonna underneath, but now she'll go with Reynolds, who will go for a three and miss. Now Reynolds playing some defense as Tavel tries to drive. Rebound controlled for the Millers by Berger, and that ball goes out of bounds on the pass attempt. So the Highlanders, another chance at the offense. Court taking their time. She'll go to Reynolds. Reynolds sinks the three. The Highlanders now with an 18-point lead. Still the largest of the game, 6:03 left in this third quarter. The Millers yet to score a point here in the second half. Tuckman will try to change that, and she'll go off iron. And the rebound will be controlled by Deladonna. Deladonna to Don. Don will try and direct traffic. She'll go to Pfeiffer at the point. Pfeiffer will go to Deladonna. She'll go to Don underneath. Don will try to go up for a shot and move to the other side, but the leg from Rosner trips her up, and the Highlanders will have a foul on the floor. .538 left here in the third, excuse me. That was the second foul for Izzy Rosner. Deladonna will try and get this one out to Thayer. Sorry, that's Reynolds. And the Millers will have the first chance to score, and that one will be tipped out of bounds by Tuckman on the rebound attempt. So not a hot start for the Millers. Still yet to put up a point. It's 33-15. At some point, Coach Schroeder has to think about calling a timeout, as it's Reynolds now. Reynolds had a screen set by Deladonna. She'll go to Thayer. Thayer will go to Don. Don will look to drive into the paint. Try and spin. Go for two. That one rolls in. 35-15. The Highlanders getting a 20-point lead. That's Tavel pushing this one out to the corner, and a steal from Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer will slow it down. She'll go for Reynolds in the corner. And a foul on the screen from Pfeiffer, so the Highlanders will lose the possession, and the Millers will get another chance at the offense and a chance at the first point, as there are 4 minutes and 35 seconds left in the third quarter, and the Millers yet to put one up on the board for the second half. An empty score box so far. Lewis looking, keeps looking to the basket like he might take a three, goes to drive, kicks out quickly. It ends up with Berger. Berger now to Tuckman. Tuckman had that one. So I actually was a quick dish to number 11, Izzy Rosner, but she goes for the two-pointer from mid-range and overshoots the basket. Now Deladonna in the corner. She'll get it to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer will spin, go for a layup, and that one. And over the back now from Reynolds. Sorry, Thayer. I'm probably not going to get that right once. I should just think Thayer 30. A bit of self-reflection there. 3:52 left. Tuckman will carry it up the floor. Now she'll go to Lewis. Now back to Marley Tuckman. Trying to make something work. She'll go across the court to number 14, Charlie Berger. Berger will go to Tuckman. Now to the corner for Wilson. Wilson. Back to Berger. Berger to the corner for three. That one way over. And a layup attempt, no good for the Millers. So, still pointless. And a knockaway here by Tuckman on Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer will go behind the back and get it and recover the ball. Now to Katsoupas in the corner. Now Cruz. Pfeiffer spinning, driving to the basket. That one up off the board and in. 22 points is the lead for the Highlanders. And Coach Eric Schroeder is looking immensely displeased, but that one might cheer him up just a bit as his team gets their first points on a three-point shot. 2:43 left in this third quarter. The lead is just 19. Katsoupas will carry this one up. Don no longer on the court. A timeout from Eckert. 30-second timeout from Eckert. Maybe fearing another time violation. Already had 2 5-second violations along the baseline. And 1 violation for holding the ball too long. Inbounds. Whoa, excuse me. Just like yawn a bit. Nice little stunt there from your Governor Livingston varsity cheer squad. But either way, the Highlanders and specifically Coach Eckert fearing a time violation and also just trying to make sure that his team stays playing well. They've dropped off just a bit. They're playing really good defense. Obviously, it's impossible to keep a team scoreless for an entire quarter, or at least near impossible. But Coach Eckert trying to make sure his team does as close to possible as keep them scoreless, and giving up a free three on the outside is not exactly going to contribute well to that goal. So now Pfeiffer, she'll try and dish it to Cruz, and that one knocked down by Wilson. The Millers will get the ball. 2:20 left in the third. Reynolds now in the corner for the Berger. Lewis will take a long three, and that one will hit. The score now 37-21, 16 points for the Highlanders. Olivia Katsoupas goes for her own three. That one goes off the iron, and that one will be apparently knocked out of bounds by Mia Deladonna. Tovlin and Berger going back and forth. Now a loose ball, and I can't quite see that corner, my apologies, but the Millers will retain possession. An inbound along the sideline for them. It'll be Lewis. Looked like a bit of a travel, but she'll get it, and she'll go for another free three. That one, luckily for the Highlanders, off iron. And Eckert screaming for someone to get to her. Cruz looking to get under the basket. She'll lose it, and it was on a foul on the floor. So the Highlanders will manage to keep possession of the ball. Deladonna to inbound. She'll go on the floor to Sandholm, and a jump ball call. Jump ball call. That one will go the way of the Millers. So Berger will get the inbound. She'll go back and forth with tip ball from Deladonna, excuse me. Don driving now, trying to get underneath the basket. Swim move and in. 1:13 left. The Highlanders an 18-point lead again. Berger will be fouled on the floor. 1:06 left here in the third. And the third team foul for the Highlanders. Tavel will get the inbound. They'll end up in the corner with Berger, guarded by Katsoupas. Now back to Tavel, guarded by Don. Cruz trying to guard the drive from Vinayak, and Vinayak will get off a layup, but they'll go off glass and be recovered by the Highlanders. Now Don. We'll get it to Deladonna. She'll go underneath. That one looked like a bit of a foul, but the Highlanders will keep possession regardless, as that one was knocked out of bounds by Millburn, excuse me. And wholesale, everybody going off the floor. We'll get a lot of new players. Number 34, Zoe Barnett will come on, along with number, can't even say. The Highlanders, Deladonna from three, that one off the iron, and a foul on Carly Pfeiffer. She'll be pushed to the floor. So the second foul of this quarter for the Millers. Reynolds goes into Cruz, and now for Pfeiffer. Now Pfeiffer will try and go for a spin move, loses possession of it for a second, and it'll go the way of the Millers, and the crowd displeased. The referee, looking from behind Pfeiffer, apparently thought that he had the right to call that one. And the crowd, everybody sitting right in front of the play, immensely displeased because they clearly saw Millburn hit that one out of bounds. But either way, a chance to get the last score of the game, and that one will go out of bounds, blocked by Reynolds on the shot attempt, and the Millers will have 12 seconds to get this one inbound and get a shot up. Goes for a shot, that one blocked. Don needs to make something work quickly. 5 seconds, she'll drive to the basket herself, up for two and in. The Highlanders, a 20-point lead to close out the third quarter. The score is 41-21. This one is going well for the Highlanders, to say the least. Governor Livingston up 41-21 on the Millburn Millers, a team with only one loss this season. The Highlanders seem to be playing their best game. As I mentioned previously, they don't score a lot of points in every game. Typically they're averaging right now about 20 in the high 20s. But right now they've got 41, and Millburn, a team that averages in the 40s, only has 20 points. So a role reversal here on the hill as Governor Livingston High School girls varsity basketball takes on the Millburn Millers. My name is Nathan Philbrick. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Nate Philbricks Productions. Philbricks with an X on the end. Thank you for joining us here. I will take a short break as these teams get back out on the floor to take a drink and get ready to finish out this game in the fourth quarter.
Victoria Cruz to the line. 2 shots. Service back for the Islanders. Second, Allie Gardner back in. Full timeout for the Islanders. That'll be a full timeout. fouls on number 14, Charlie Berger. That is her fourth foul. Kaylee Thayer to the line, shooting 2 shots.
Nice.
Some of the Canada shot goes, so that's some more back.
There, it appears I had my mic muted for the past minute or two. Huge mislap. I'm not exactly sure how long that was, but either way, a 21-point lead for the Highlanders. Thayer sunk one of her 2, and now she'll have steal the ball away, and she'll get it stolen right back from Tuckman, just not paying attention. And a foul, I believe, against Katsoupas. So the Millers will go to the line and shoot 2.
Foul on number 3, Olivia Katsoupas. That's her third.
So Marley Tuckman will sink her first. Just under 3 minutes left here to go in the fourth quarter, 2:59 in the game. And a foul against Carly Pfeiffer. She is just getting lit up by Tuckman. And that, I believe, is Tuckman's 4th foul. It's the Millers' 4th foul at the least, and that will be the 4th foul for Tuckman. So she's gotten 3 fouls against Pfeiffer in this 4th quarter. One more and she's disqualified from the game. And now a long outlet pass to Olivia Katsoupas. She'll bounce pass underneath to Thayer. Thayer will go off glass and get the score. 21-point lead for the Highlanders. It's 46-25. Now Berger. Sorry, not Berger. That's Talvel, who went and shot that one from mid-range, and will get the 2 for the Highlanders. Cut the lead down to 19. Pfeiffer will go to Katsoupas. Katsoupas, screen set by Thayer. We'll get this one to Deladonna. Deladonna to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer will drive in between traffic, and no good on the layup. And that ball will be knocked out of bounds by Mia Deladonna. So the Millers will get the ball back. It's 2 minutes and 4 seconds left. I mean, you got to think at some point Coach Schroeder has to tell his team to start fouling. That'll probably come around the 1:30, 1 minute mark. They're not taking their offense particularly fast. There's a chance he's just filed this one away for another loss to deal with another day and has decided not to foul. But there's a long 3 from number 12, Sydney Talvel. So a lead of 16 only for the Highlanders and a timeout from Coach Eckert. Correction, not a timeout for Coach Eckert. There was some kind of reset. I'm not exactly sure, but either way, Gardner now carrying it up the court. Gardner will go to Katsoupas. Katsoupas goes to Cruz. Cruz back to Katsoupas. Katsoupas for 3. And that one will get lodged in between the rim and the backboard. And we'll have to get someone to knock this one out. Unfortunately, I believe Darius Francis is not out here. So we can't have him just jump and hit it. And the referee will have to knock this one out. 2 attempts unsuccessful. Now 3, it still hasn't gotten it out. And I believe the crowd is booing. And there we go. So 1 minute, 17 seconds, 16-point lead for the Highlanders. The possession will go to the Millers. The score 46-30. Pavel will carry it up the court. Pavel, pass attempt lost for a second there, but she'll be fouled by Katsoupas as she tries to get it back. No, Rosner. And Rosner will get called for the travel. 1 minute, 4 seconds left. The Highlanders, just 64 seconds left to kill. The second game for the Highlanders of this Super Saturday. Here on Governor Livingston High School television. Lily Sandholm now drives. She'll go up for the layup, no good. She'll get her own rebound, and she'll put it back. 48-30. 18-point Highlander lead, 40 seconds left, evidently. The Millers have sealed this one, or the Highlanders, have sealed this one away. Coach Schroeder has sat down on the bench, resigned to let his team, I suppose, lose this game, but an and one chance for Lewis. Olivia Katsoupas picks up another foul. Noya Lewis will get one shot from the free throw line. 28 seconds left. The Highlanders will likely just possess this one. Maybe Schroeder will tell his players to back off, although given that he doesn't feel like changing any of his strategies, I suppose, or he hasn't changed his strategies just thus far, he won't. And the free throw sunk from Lewis, so 48-33. 15-point lead for the Highlanders. The Millers still pressing. Gardner has to get this one across mid-court, half-court. She does. She'll fake it to Sandholm, goes for the pass, now to Cruz. Cruz will dump it to Sandholm. Sandholm will go back out to Gardner. And Gardner will dribble this one out. The Millers will return to their own bench. And applause from the crowd as time expires and the Highlanders girls varsity basketball will get their third win of the season. After a 5-game losing streak, the Highlanders will improve now to 3-5. A great win for Coach Eckert against the 7-1 team. The Millers moving now to 7-2. Something that most people probably never could have forecasted, but we got two tough teams for these Highlander squads, varsity squads to face off against. And the girls have shown they're up to the challenge. Now it's time for boys junior varsity basketball. Of course, unfortunately, I am not going to be commentating that one. So you will be left with no commentary and just the audio from the crowd, the fans, the parents, and whoever else may be there, be here. I have been Nathan Philbrick. Thank you for joining us here on Governor Livingston High School television on YouTube.